friends, it's Jennifer from Live, Laugh, Love to Read. Today we're going to talk about the last two books that I read, and a library haul, and Mcneil. Yay! Let's go ahead and do the library haul. So, I had one of them on hold. Okay, it was this one. And it came in, and so I went and picked out the one that I had on hold. And then while I was there, I looked at their new rack, and there was 3 there that I'd been wanting to read, surprisingly. So the first one that I had on hold at the library, The Silent Patient by Alex Mcneil, maybe? Not sure how you say that. I have seen this book. I don't really know what it's about. Let's see. Alicia Berenson's life is seemingly perfect. A famous painter married to an in-demand fashion photographer. She lives in a grand house overlooking a park in one of London's most desirable areas. One evening, her husband Gabriel returns home late from work, and Alicia shoots him 5 times in the face and then never speaks another word. I so did not know that's what this is about. Alicia's refusal to talk or give any kind of explanation turns a domestic tragedy into something far grander. A mystery that captures the public imagination and casts Alicia into notoriety. The price of her art skyrockets, and she, the silent patient, is hidden away from the tabloids and spotlight at the Grove, a secure psychiatric unit in North London. Wow. That looks really good. Yeah, I didn't know that's what it was about, but hey. That sounds really good. Sounds right up my alley. Yeah. And then this one right here, The Bookshop of Yesterdays by Amy Meyerson. I have seen this one too and was wanting to read it. I don't know what it's about. Let's see. Miranda Brooks grew up in the stacks of her eccentric Uncle Billy's bookstore, solving the inventive scavenger hunts he created just for her. Number 1, I love anything about bookstores. Number 2, I love anything about scavenger hunts. But on Miranda's 12th birthday, Billy has a mysterious falling out with her mother and suddenly disappears from Miranda's life. She doesn't hear about him again until 16 years later when she receives unexpected news. Billy has died and left her Prospero Books, which is teetering on bankruptcy, and one final scavenger hunt. Ooh, that sounds good. Have you read this? I've been seeing it all over Instagram. So I was excited to see that at the library. Okay, so the next one is Over the Fence by Mary Munroe. And I have read some of her books before. Some of her books are okay, and other ones I like. So I picked this one on the new rack at the library. So let's see what it's about. Bootlegging was Milton and Yvonne Hamilton's ticket out of poverty, prison time, and plain bad luck. Now they've moved on to a bigger, richer pool of clientele, right in their own respectable new middle-class backyard. And their growing friendship with the seemingly perfect couple Joyce and Odell Watson is proving golden in more ways than one. As Milton soon learns, Odell is hiding an outside family and dubious business dealings. It's the perfect recipe for a blackmail scheme that will help Milton hide his own dirty secrets, even from Yvonne. That kind of sounds good. I don't know. We'll see. I just picked it up because I recognize the author. So we'll see what we think. The next one I picked up at the library was The Cliff House by Ray Ann Thane. I've never heard of this author. I just like the cover. Do you ever pick up books because of the cover? I do. Says, after the death of their mother, sisters Daisy and Beatrice Davenport found a home with their Aunt Stella in the beautiful and welcoming town of Cape Sanctuary. They never knew all the dreams that Stella sacrificed to ensure they had everything they'd ever need. Now, with Daisy and Bee grown, it's time for Stella to reveal the secret she's been keeping from them. A secret that will change their family forever. I think that sounds pretty good. Have you read anything by her? I haven't. Never even heard this author. Have you? We'll see. And Bookmail! Yay! So, I order books online all the time. I think these came from Thrift Books. Yep. And I'm always surprised when I open it because I'm like, okay, I don't remember what I got. So anyway, I did open this, but I don't know what's in there. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's You by Jane Porter. I love Jane Porter's books. Her books are usually different from each other, which I like that because sometimes authors will get in this rut where they write the same kind of books over and over and over. And really, I think Jane Porter's books are not like always the same, which is good. In the wake of a tragedy, Dr. Allison McAdams has lost her way. So when she's summoned to Napa to care for her ailing father, she's not sure she has anything to offer him or anyone else. What Allie finds in Northern California wine country is a gift, an opportunity to rest and distance from her painful memories. Most unexpectedly, she finds people who aren't afraid of her grief or desperate for her to hurry up and move on. As Allie becomes part of her father's community, makes new friends of her own, and hears the stories of a generation who survived the Second World War, she begins to find hope again. In a quest to discover the truth about another woman's lost love, she sets off on a journey across oceans and deep into history. That definitely sounds different than Jane Porter's other books. Because I've read several of her other books, and yeah, that one sounds different. So, yay. And then I got Sister Dear by Laura Mcneil. I've never heard of this author. I got this one at Thrift Books too. And I seen this, I think, on Instagram and thought it looked good, so I thought, why not? Let's see. All Allie Marshall wants is a fresh start. But when dark secrets refuse to stay buried, will her chance at a new life be shattered forever? Convicted of a crime she didn't commit, Allie watched a decade of her life vanish. Time that can never be recovered. Now out on parole, Allie is determined to clear her name, rebuild her life, and reconnect with the daughter she barely knows. So, okay. So I love books about people who've been in prison, and then they try to rebuild their life and all that. So I love that kind of thing. And I'm hoping they include a little bit of the prison time in there because I like to read about that too. So, do you know anything about this book? I didn't, but we're going to give it a try. All right. Now we're going to talk about the 2 books I just finished. So I'm a really fast reader. Always have been. And sometimes I'll read something, and if I automatically go to another book, I'll forget about what was in the other book. So I actually have some notes about what I thought about the books. So this one, first one, The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Garvis Graves. I'm giving this a 4-star. I liked it. It was really good. I have read a lot of books by Tracy Garvis Graves, so that's why I was so excited to get this from the library. Free! Yay! So this book follows Annika and Jonathan. Annika is, well, they don't really say it in the beginning of the book, but she's autistic. High-functioning autistic. Almost like, I thought in the beginning of the book she had Asperger's. That's kind of like how she acts. But some of the things that she doesn't like, loud music. She doesn't like clothes certain clothes touching her skin. She doesn't like the tags in clothes. She doesn't like certain textures. But one thing she does like is she likes to go barefoot, and she likes certain textures on her feet. So she likes bare grass. She likes tile, carpet. So yeah, she's got some of, those different things that some of the other people don't have. She's very blunt. Says exactly what she's thinking. I found it very fascinating to be almost inside her mind. The way Tracy wrote this book is like I was like in her mind, and I found it fascinating. But she always knew that she was different. She went to school all the way up to 7th grade, but then she was homeschooled the rest of the time because something that happened at school. But what you do find out is her dad is like her too. So, and later in the book, she does get diagnosed. She goes and takes a test. She does get diagnosed with autism, high functioning autism, and general anxiety disorder, which on top of her autism is, not really that great. But anyway, she goes to college, and she's a really good chess player. So she ends up joining the chess club, and she meets Jonathan, and they start dating, and he realizes right away that there's something different about Annika. One thing about Annika is she's really pretty, like really pretty, and she knows it because everybody's always told her that she's really pretty. But she has a best friend. Her roommate in college helps her a whole lot because she doesn't know like the social cues of other people. She doesn't know, facial recognition, like different emotions and stuff. She doesn't know how to recognize that. And so she, her best friend starts helping her. And some of the funny parts in the book I thought was funny was like she went on a date with Jonathan, and then they had a really good time, and then at the end of the day, you're waiting, it's like, okay, is he going to kiss me? Oh, I hope he's going to kiss me. Well, she just says, are you going to kiss me now? Which I thought was so funny, and he's like, yes, do you want me to? She's like, yes, go ahead. Which I thought was hilarious. But, so anyway, you follow her, and then something happens in college, and they break up. But they get back together 10 years later. They live in the same city and didn't even know it. So they get back together 10 years later, and yeah, fall in love again, and that's all I'm going to tell you because I don't want to be a spoiler. But anyway, so I gave that 4 stars. I really liked it. It was good. So the next book I read was 32 Candles by Ernessa T. Carter. And I read that on my Kindle. So there's a picture of it. And this book was about, let's see, a young African-American girl growing up in Mississippi. This is my Goodreads review that I wrote. I really like Davy as a character. That's who we follow in this book. She overcame an abusive mother who was the town hooker, basically. She was bullied at school relentlessly. It was the 80s, and she lived in a predominantly black town and high school. She stalks the gorgeous quarterback, James, but he doesn't even know she's alive. And she actually makes this scrapbook with, like, every school newspaper clipping about him and, just anything about him. And then she befriends his best friend only because they're in, I think it's chemistry class together, like they're at the same table. And she lets him talk, and learns all this stuff about James. And one thing about Davy, her name is Davidia, but she goes by Davy later on. But one thing about her is she doesn't talk. Because at, I want to say, age 6 is when she quit talking. And the reason for that was because her mother beat her so severely at one certain point that she quit talking. Because it seemed like everything she would say or, would get her in trouble. So she just quit talking. And she continued to have you know, run-ins with her mother. Her mother was the town whore. Men, she would go to the bar, meet up with men, they'd come back to their house, and their house was like one room. So it was like a curtain separating her and her mother. So she could hear everything that went on from the time she was very young till later, and she knew, you know, what was going on. And a lot of times the men would leave money on her nightstand, or she says in the book that she would see a bill like that was late, and she'd see it sticking out of the man's pocket when he left. Yeah. Or a lot of times the man would give her money and send her to the store or to the movie theater or whatever. So, yeah. So she didn't have a good childhood at all. So then she gets invited to this high school party. And basically something happens at the party and she runs away. She ends up running away to Los Angeles, where she starts singing in a swanky dinner club. And we follow Davy through the years as she goes to college and subsequently gets revenge on all the people who bullied her. The story centers around James, who she loves from afar all of her life. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because I don't want to give anything else away. But I did give that book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I would look for more books by her. I don't know if she has any more books by her. I haven't looked. Here's another picture of it. 32 Candles by Ernessa T. Carter. So that's going to be it. And if you like this kind of video, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Oh, and also I do have another channel called Read Along with Aunt Ninny, where I read children's books. And if you have little ones, head on over there, subscribe over there. I have like 700 videos over there. And yeah, I'd love for you to come over. And if you like this kind of style of books, or anything that you think I might like, leave me a comment in the section below. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Thanks, friends. Bye.